today against Cleveland. Thank you for joining us here on this Sunday, November 20th. I'm Gary Libator. Katrina is off today. Well, Buffalo and Watertown are both still digging out from several feet of snow, and some of us will be getting ready to do the same. Let's head over to the Weather Center, where meteorologist Eric Gage has been tracking a major system on our doorstep as we speak. Good morning to you, Eric.
Good morning, Gary. Yes, we are tracking lake effect snow showers moving into our area at least for the most of the day in the Mohawk Valley. In fact, today is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day because of that. So, taking a look at our graphic for right now, heavy lake effect snow is possible in the Mohawk Valley and north. A stray lake effect band is in the southern valleys right now. That's not too much of a concern. Still could cause some gusty winds as well as brief whiteout conditions. Windy conditions could cause snow squalls and whiteout conditions for some areas, especially in western Oneida County. That's why Oneida County as well as Herkimer County is in a lake effect storm warning between 4 a.m. earlier on this morning until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, you're probably wondering, you're seeing some sunshine out this morning. Where is the snow? Well, it's just north of us. If you're in the North Country, you're already experiencing it right now. Here's a live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This lake effect band is to the north of the Mohawk Valley right now, as well as a stray band to the south. You can see it right here, still producing a brief whiteout conditions north of Oneonta. But the big story is, as we put a loop on this, you're seeing a ripple in this wind direction right here. This starts shifting out towards the Mohawk Valley, and that wind direction will stay there for most of the day. That will cause some significant whiteout conditions possible, especially in western Oneida County up towards Camden. So for today, high of 29 degrees, lake effect snow showers, windy conditions as well. Make sure you want to find a way to stay away from the roads for today, especially in western and northwestern Oneida County. I'll have a full details of the totals of snowfall coming up. Back to you, Gary.
Eric, thanks. So much snow has fallen in parts of western New York. Some roofs have collapsed. It's an historic storm that had Governor Hochul touring parts of her hometown on Saturday. NBC's Jesse Kirsch has more on the storm that has so many people still digging out this morning.
At least 77 inches of snow reported in Orchard Park, New York alone, with an estimated 66 inches in just 24 hours, marking a New York State all-time record.
Orchard Park is also home to the Buffalo Bills, and it's a good thing they moved tomorrow's game out of town because it's tough to tailgate around here when I'm standing in snow in the parking lot nearly waist high. The gridiron also covered.
Briefly today, the Buffalo area is near whiteout conditions, clearing to reveal damage left behind. Abandoned cars, neighborhoods still unreachable, and this bowling alley's roof caved in.
Oh, I'm so sad by this.
New York's governor surveying damage today, saying about 280 people have had to be rescued. Officials say the National Guard is helping get people to dialysis.
Because so much snow has fallen, there's really no place to put it now.
In nearby Lackawanna, New York, crews making room with the potential of up to another foot of snow heading for the region tonight.
The longer this stays, how much more of a problem does it become?
Well, it'll freeze. And if we get another snowfall, which they're predicting for this evening, it's going to make it treacherous.
The Great Lakes region hit hard and tragically. Officials say 2 New Yorkers died following cardiac events related to cleanup. And in Indiana, a plow driver was killed when authorities say his plow rolled over. Tonight, 9 million people across 6 states under winter weather alerts. Parts of Wisconsin and Michigan seeing more than 2 feet of snow. But in South Bend, the winter wallop not stopping Notre Dame and Boston College this afternoon as Buffalo digs out from a snowstorm that isn't done yet.
I've been around a long time, and that's as much as I've seen.
NBC's Jesse Kirsch reporting from Buffalo. And remember, for the latest on the weather across our region, you can always head to WKTV.com. Our weather team will always have the very latest on our weather conditions, especially today, right here in central New York. We are continuing to try to get information from state.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Today is a Storm Tracker 2 alert day, especially for the Mohawk Valley, as a band of lake effect snow moves its way into our area by early on this afternoon. Start by taking a live look At our Cavity Tower camera, things looking very windy out there right now. Wind gusts actually peaked in the Mohawk Valley at 40 miles an hour a couple of hours ago, so definitely a very windy day out there too, and that will cause possible whiteout conditions with some of this lake effect snowfall moving through our area as we head into this morning and afternoon. Here's a live look at a Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2. Top of the radar right now, the North Country is seeing a lot of that snow, but that band will start shifting south as that wind direction up towards the Lake Ontario will start shifting its way down towards the south, and then lake effect snow will push through the Mohawk Valley. A single band of lake effect snow moving through the southern valleys right now. Not too much of a concern. That will briefly move away within the next hour or so. And this is all due to a weak cold front pushing its way out towards the west, changing wind direction. Very breezy conditions, especially in the Mohawk Valley. And as that wind direction moves down through the valley, it's going to pick up a lot of that lake effect cloud cover, especially with those warmer lake temperatures. Currently, Lake Ontario is sitting near 50 degrees, which is perfect because you need a lake to air temperature difference of 25 to 23 degrees in order for lake effect to form. So looking ahead on our skycast for today, things are looking pretty sunny out there right now for some of us. You're probably wondering where the snow is going to be heading into our area. And this is the current skycast right now, still up to the north of us by 9 a.m. As we head into the afternoon, that band shifts its way south, still very variable. And this is the difficulty in predicting how much snow we're going to be getting because higher snowfall totals are only possible if this band does not shift wind direction that much. So by noon, still seeing widespread snowfall, whiteout conditions possible, especially in the Mohawk Valley. 5 p.m. it gets more defined as the winds remain strong, especially in the Mohawk Valley, and will continue at least until a little bit after sunset between midnight and 1 a.m. and that band will move up towards the north. And then chilly temperatures tonight, cooling down into the teens, possibly even the single digits in outlying areas for tonight, and then warming up tomorrow into the 30s with partly sunny to mostly cloudy skies as another system moves its way up towards the north. That's not going to expect to see a lot of accumulation with that. So our latest snowfall forecast, updated at 11 p.m. last night. We bumped up the numbers a little bit, 10 to 15 inches in the red areas, 15 inches or more in the pink, and 5 to 10 in the dark blue areas. And I know everyone wants to know exactly how much snow we're going to be getting, but the biggest concern, especially if you're in the pink or red areas just around Camden out towards western Oneida County, avoid going on the roads unless absolutely necessary. And if you are in the blue, just exercise caution if you had to drive on the roads for today. So variations of the forecast. Higher winds are made constant and strong. More higher end totals. Winds become variable and weak. Lower high end totals. And our forecast right now is in the middle of those two scenarios. So for today, high of 29 degrees. Lake effect snow. Windy conditions for today. Tonight, lingering showers, lingering snow showers. Lows down to the teens. Chilly conditions tomorrow, high of 39, partly sunny skies, still a little bit breezy out there tomorrow. In our 7-day forecast, dry weather at least on the near horizon, at least until Thanksgiving night, and then rain showers return for Black Friday and into Saturday. And our trivia question, what is the most snow Utica Rome has received on record for the month of November?
And you would think it would be a lot more than that, wouldn't you?
I thought so too, but it's actually surprising.
Wow, then I'll go with, how about C?
C, 9, it's close, 11 inches, 1993 apparently was the most snow we've seen in November, and that's surprising. I feel like we would have seen more, but yeah, that's currently on the records right now.
Maybe with today, we might approach a record later in the month.
Might have to.
Eric, thanks. Stay with us. More news is up next. Welcome back. We want to get you right over to the Weather Center with meteorologist Eric Gage. And Eric, you're keeping an eye on some snow just about on our doorstep, right?
Yes, that's right. And for the most part, the snow right now is in northern Oneida County as well as central to northern Herkimer County at this point, still producing some gusty winds and some heavier snowfall. This will start moving its way down towards the south, and it will stay in the Mohawk Valley throughout the day today, so we could be seeing snowfall totals nearing 5 to 10 inches in a lot of areas.
Wow.
So on the higher end, but still the biggest concern is whiteout conditions, gusty winds. Avoid traveling on the roadways, especially in western Oneida County. In fact, taking a look at our Winter Storm Severity Index is a newer thing put out by the Weather Service. It's still in the testing phase right now, but for the most part, if you are in the orange area right here, you are in a moderate impact, basically most of central and western Oneida County. Basically, just use extra caution while driving or try to avoid driving altogether. In the red areas, major impacts. Avoid travel if possible, unless it's absolutely necessary. For the most part, you want to make sure that you just avoid the roadways. In the yellow areas, still just use caution, especially on the roadways now towards the south. Still expecting minor inconveniences, but still nothing too bad. Sky watchers this morning on the chilly side, 21 Curtis Corners, 27 in Mohawk, 25 degrees in New Hartford, and in the Southern Valleys, temperatures in the 20s, 23 degrees in Cooperstown, 22 in Harwick. Doesn't feel like that right now with that wind chill, very windy conditions. And as you can see on our radar right now, Old Forge as well as just the northern part of Boonville starting to see some of this lake effect snow band. As you can see out towards the east, it's moving its way down towards the south, and it'll move into the Mohawk Valley for the remainder of this afternoon. But for today, temperatures only reaching the upper 20s with windy conditions out there too today as well. Of your full detailed forecast, including snowfall totals, coming up. Back over to you.
Eric, thanks. The New Forest Cemetery in Utica held an open house.
Central New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning and welcome back. Lake effect snow is on the way for some of us, and right now some of us are seeing just sunny skies. Here's a live look at our Cavity Tower camera overlooking the city of Utica. Things are looking pretty sunny out there right now. Probably for those of you not in the North Country, you're probably wondering where the snow is. Well, you're taking a live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. This snow band in the North Country is starting to shift direction, starting to reach the northwestern part of Oneida County right now, and will continue to move its way out towards the southeast as we head into this afternoon and remain in the Mohawk Valley throughout the day today until after sunset for tonight. Those of you in the southern valleys that saw a brief period of snow, that's shifting its way out towards the east. Don't expect too much accumulation throughout the day for today. Maybe see some sunny skies around the area as well, especially outside of the Mohawk Valley and south. Radar and satellite composite shows a weak cold front pushing through, shifting direction, and then those winds will guide lake effect snow bands into the Mohawk Valley for today, and that will cause disruptions in travel, especially in western Oneida County. And taking a look at our Skycast, exactly when this is going to be happening. So for right now, snow band is still staying relatively north of the Mohawk Valley by 9 a.m. this morning, shifting its way south, winds looking a little bit variable by noon, and then strengthening by 5 p.m. and remaining in the Mohawk Valley throughout the day today. This is the biggest concern that could cause whiteout conditions along with this very gusty winds. That's the biggest concern as well. Wind gusts during 15 to 20 miles per hour. And this will continue at least until tonight, and then the wind direction shifts up towards the north, and then chilly temperatures as clear skies move in, cooling down into the teens for tonight. And then tomorrow, a little bit warmer, highs in the lower 30 to mid 30s, and then a snow band moves to the North Country later on tomorrow night. Not too much of a concern with that snow band. So, lake effect snowfall forecast right now, we bumped up the numbers a little bit, 10 to 15 inches in the red areas, 15 inches or more in the pink. But the biggest concern, I know everyone wants to know exactly how much snow we're going to be seeing, but if you're in the red and pink areas, try to avoid travel on the roadways unless absolutely necessary. And for those of you in the dark blue areas, just use extra caution if you're driving. You're still in the 5 to 10 inch range. This can vary a little bit. We have basically the midpoint compared to two different forecast differences. If the winds are stronger, higher totals nearing 15 inches in a thin band, or if the winds are weaker, looking ahead to seeing more on the lower side, 10 inches more widespread and 5 inches on the lower end out towards Utica. So for today, high of 29 degrees, lake effect snow, windy conditions in the Mohawk Valley. Tonight, a lingering snow shower, chilly as well. Clear skies moving in the southern valleys later on tonight. 7-day forecast, dry weather Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Still seeing a lingering flurry or two for Monday, and then Thanksgiving is still looking relatively dry at this point. And our trivia question, still accumulation is based off a snow to liquid ratio. If temperatures are colder, does that mean bigger snowflakes?
No.
No? You know, it is technically yes, but you're actually right. It is yes and no. So it's basically a curve, and you get a certain temperature, and the atmosphere can't hold moisture anymore, so the snowflakes get smaller. That's why I see near like the poles, the snow is more like a sand grain. It's not very thick snowflakes.
Interesting. Very interesting. Stay with us. More news is up next.
Joining us, here's what's making news tonight in your neighborhood. It's still a Storm Tracker 2 alert day as bands of lake effect snow continue to move through the area. Let's head right over to the weather desk with meteorologist Eric Gage. Now, Eric, those snowfall totals vastly different.
Yes, that's right. And that's the big case when it comes to lake effect. And that's the hardest part about forecasting lake effect is you get some areas, see on the totals nearing 2 feet, and then other areas barely reaching 2 inches. I mean, so a huge difference.
Look at Lee Center.
Yeah.
23 inches, and then up here on Smith Hill, 5 inches.
Yeah, so big difference. That's the hardest part of forecasting. That's why we made a more broad forecast for snowfall totals. In fact, our snowfall totals so far, Lee Center is seen right there, nearing 2 feet, as well as Remsen at 22 inches. Steuben 13, and then dipping down in Ohio, 12.5. Lee with 9.5, and as I said before, measured up here in Smith Hill, 5 inches. And lake effect challenges, this is a big concern when it comes to times like these when winds are very strong. One very slight change in wind direction could change totals by several inches. And forecasts today were a little bit on the south side. Wind stayed north, so northern Onondaga got more snow than expected. And high wind speed lake effect events are still hard to predict for exact amounts. Now, a live look at our radar right now. Still seeing a few bands of lake effect going through our area. A very faint one moving through Cooperstown right now, as well as Hamilton. This will gradually move its way up towards the north and weaken as we head into tonight. So for the most part, expect more dry conditions. The other news, though, chilly wind speed as well. Feels like 15 degrees out right now. It's a very chilly night for tonight. A few lingering flurries for tonight, cooling down into the teens. And we are tracking a little bit on the warmer side for temperatures as we head into the work week ahead. Look at that full forecast and more is coming up. Back over to you, Ben.
Thank you very much, Eric. We're now just over 12 hours from when those first flakes of the lake effect snow flew in the Mohawk Valley. So let's take a look back at some of today's crazy weather. It started out around 11:30 this morning. The first band of lake effect snow dropped just a dusting on area roads. This was the view on the north-south arterial highway just after the snow had started. By early afternoon, visibility was reduced to near zero. And then, just as soon as it started, it stopped for a short time before returning with a vengeance. This was the scene on Route 12 in Barneveld by 3 o'clock. Route 12 completely snow-covered. The heavy snow and high winds led to multiple accidents. 2 people had to be cut out of this car after it rolled into a telephone pole on Oneida Street in Utica just after 4:30. The extent of their injuries is not known. Traffic on Route 8 was brought to a halt for hours just outside of Coldbrook in Herkimer County after a tractor-trailer jackknifed. The Herkimer County 911 Center issuing a statement saying, if you don't have to travel, don't be on the roads. The snow and winds were also responsible for numerous power outages, mainly south of the Mohawk Valley. We're following a developing story out of Utica this evening. A man was killed in an early morning shooting.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good evening and welcome back. Some of us saw some pretty significant snowfall for today with some totals in western and northern Oneida County, seeing totals nearing almost 2 feet. Some areas a little bit over that as well. And even other areas in outlying only seeing trace amounts, if any. That is characteristic of lake effect snow. Here's a live look outside in our parking lot in our Cavity Tower camera. Still seeing some snowfall accumulations on Smith Hill right now around the 5-inch mark with a few flurries still falling. Breezy conditions there as well. And here's a live look at our Utica National Cooperstown camera. Still seeing a few flurries out there. A little band of snow is moving through the area for this point. But for the weather headlines for tonight, expect lake effect snow to end. So windy on Monday, and along with that, warmer temperatures warming up into the upper 30s to low 40s by the middle of the week. And taking a live look at Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2, top of the radar. This has been pretty much characteristic throughout the day today. This snow band has moved north, it's moved south, and the exact path of this determines exactly how much snow has fallen. Now, our forecast for snowfall dragged the 5 to 10 inch line into the Utica area, and that is moved generally upwards for today. Most of the wind stayed just slightly north, and as I mentioned before, just a slight shift in that wind direction can make a difference when it comes to significant snowfall. But for the most part, the highest risk area was still pretty much met, with the central to northwestern Oneida County getting the hardest hit with totals, some areas even above 2 feet of accumulation. A few flurries moving down into Cooperstown right now, but for the most part, the biggest concern is gusty winds. So for your checklist for tomorrow, bring some sunglasses possibly. Could see some breaks in sunshine. Ice scraper and a brush, definitely a need be if you're going to scrape off your car for tomorrow. A coat, because we're on the chilly side. Boots, because still seeing accumulation on the ground. And some extra time just in case some of your area has still not been plowed yet. But snow is expected to be ending by early tomorrow morning, so don't expect any additional accumulation at this point. You're seeing right now most of those wind gusts are just in the Mohawk Valley and south. The blue areas representing 8 to 10 mile-per-hour winds. Still not as strong as earlier on today, but enough to feel a little bit of wind, at least for the most part, for tonight and early tomorrow morning. Breezes do pick up as we head into tomorrow afternoon. So our skycast for tonight, that band of lake effect snow slowly pushes way up towards the north for tonight after it dragged its way down for the most part this evening. And then for your early starts to your Monday morning, on the chilly side, temperatures in the teens, almost nearing single digits in some areas, especially with that breezy conditions. Your morning commute still looking dry and breezy. Some sunshine moving in by the afternoon tomorrow with partly sunny skies. Temperatures warming up into the mid to upper 30s by the afternoon and evening. Clouds moving in by tomorrow night, and even a chance for a brief flurry or sprinkle from another band moving down towards the south. Not expecting a lot of accumulation with this, but for the most part, still could see some flurries and snowfall with that. So additional lake effect snowfall for the forecast for tonight. Still seeing generally 1 to 3 inches possible in the Utica area and out towards the west. An additional 3 to 6 inches beyond Rome and further out towards Syracuse and to the west. So for tonight, low of 18 degrees, lingering snow on the chilly side as well. And tomorrow, breezy conditions, partly sunny skies, temperatures warming up into the upper 30s. Our 7-day forecast, things look mostly dry besides a few lingering flurries or sprinkles possible Tuesday night and into Wednesday. And Thanksgiving right now is currently looking mostly dry before rain showers return Black Friday and into the weekend.